Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode one of Spill the Travel Tea with your host, Harvey Wall. I am the owner of Wall of Wonders Travel, and for a while I've been flirting with the idea of being able to bring everybody stories of good travels, maybe not so good travels, just letting everybody hear what the tea is from around the world. And I figured this would be a great time right after Thanksgiving where everybody's stuffed. And I figured, why not? Let me go ahead and do it. Episode one, when it's 20 degrees outside. Hence why I'm wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. But I want to go ahead and get into this first interesting story. I should say. This was actually about a bachelorette trip. Now, I've planned quite a few bachelorette trips. A lot of times they've been in Nashville. We've done a few down to Florida. Hadn't been blessed enough to do all inclusive yet, but this particular one is actually about a bachelorette party that went to an all inclusive. So it starts off, and forewarned, so you're not going to know who this is because all the names have been changed. Okay. So it starts. I knew this bachelorette trip was going to be chaos. The second Brooke texted, found a great adults only, all inclusive, unlimited drinks, and lots of adult fun. Okay. It's usually when an adult only. Okay. I should have paid more attention to that last part. But Brooke was my best friend and I was the maid of honor. So I threw my credit card at the problem and said, send me the booking link. There were five of us: Brooke, the bride, me, Jess, and Tori, our designated troublemakers, and Emma, who brought a sun hat the size of a satellite dish and SPF 70, like we were taking a toddler to the beach. When I hear satellite dish, I think about back in the early 90s, mid 90s, when you'd get those satellite dishes, them suckers were the size of a house, and you would still not get reception when there was a storm. Okay, anyways, we were in our early 20s, feeling like this was the kind of trip we talked about for years. We just didn't realize how much. The resort was beautiful when we arrived: white sand, palm trees, turquoise water, so pretty it looked Photoshop. The lobby smelled like coconut and money. Not coconut and honey, but coconut and money. Okay. They handed us fruity welcome drinks and those cool little cold towels. And I remember thinking, wow, we nailed this. Then we went to the welcome orientation. So, is this orientation? Is this a timeshare place? Did they just find a spot in Mexico and say, let's go? This should have been our first clue. The staff kept throwing around phrases like meeting like minded adults and exploring new connections. Okay, the hostess ended with, we really encourage you to step out of your comfort zone this weekend. Everyone clapped, and I just assumed she meant I should try snorkeling, not whatever it actually meant. Well, I'm pretty sure if I think I know where this is going, you could probably go diving, but it wouldn't be in the ocean. Maybe muffed out. I don't know. Day two, it all started to click. We were at the swim up bar, lined up on those underwater stools, working on a round of frozen daiquiris. Jess was rating everyone's pool floats. Tori was trying to get the bartender to make a shot she'd invented in college. And Brooke was doing that thing where she smiles, but you can tell she's actually mentally reorganizing the seating chart. Okay, so type A person here. Okay, I'd hate for you to enjoyed a bachelorette party, but okay. That's when they floated over. An older couple, probably late 50s, super tan, wearing matching white cover ups and looking more like suggestions than clothing. They were holding hands and smiling at us like they already knew something we didn't. Only thing that would be better is if this man was wearing a Speedo and had the beer belly of the century, because that's normally how those billionaires be walking around anyway. They give zero rips. Maybe the gold chain rocking through there, looking like he's literally part of a mob boss. Ladies, the woman said, you all look like you're celebrating something. Bachelorette trip, Jess announced, like she was the town crier. Hear ye, hear ye. Yeah, I tell you, if I was somewhere and I heard bachelorette party, the bells would be going off for me too if I was single. Bachelorette trip. The man's grin widened. Ah, a celebration of love, he said. This is a wonderful place for couples to explore before the big commitment. The way he stretched out explore made my eyebrows try to climb off of my face. So maybe he said, like, oh, Val Venus, hello, ladies. And maybe he was like, explore before the big commitment. Who knows? Okay. The woman leaned on the bar next to us. Are you here for the whole week? Just the weekend, I said. We're trying to keep it classy. She laughed way too hard. Oh, sweetie, you picked the right place if you want to see people lose all sense of classy. I think she missed, maybe, okay. I feel like maybe she was trying to make a joke, but then this probably got him confused. Okay, so they started dropping subtle hints. She mentioned helping plan theme nights like White and Free and Anything Goes. He casually said, some of our best friendships started here. Then he gave Brooke a conspiratorial wink and told her, if at any point you want to mix it up, everyone's very open minded. I felt Brooke stiffen next to me. Emma choked on her drink. Jess's eyes were sparkling like someone had just handed her front row tickets to a train wreck. I, as the maid of honor and designated responsible one, felt my soul slowly leave my body. I feel that. After they swam off, Jess leaned in and hissed, okay, what are the odds we just accidentally booked a swinger resort? I don't know. Did you use a planner because did you use a travel advisor? I didn't get no email. So who knows? Let's see. We grabbed Emma's phone. It was the fastest to unlock and Googled the resort. Same name, same logo, and a very different tagline than the one on the booking site. Let's just say open minded adult playground was not in the original description. Absolutely not, I said. Nope, nope, we are not doing whatever this is. Brooke downed the rest of her drink. Nobody panic. We're just here to relax. We don't have to participate in anything. We drink, we sunbathe, we go to the spa, we mind our business. Easy. Yeah. Tell me how that works out. Just like you can mind your own business if you go to a club, right? Nothing was easy after that. Everywhere we looked, couples were giving us little looks. Like there was an inside joke and we were too innocent or too vanilla to understand. Two couples waved us over to share a cabana. A guy at the towel stand casually asked if we were open to meeting other couples. And we all shouted, no, as fast as he actually stepped back. Night rolled around and we decided to at least show up to this white and free party, thinking maybe it wouldn't be that intense. That was adorable of us. I can tell you this, if it's what I think is about to happen, it's about to go down. We walked in wearing cute white dresses, feeling very bridal shower chic, and immediately realized we were overdressed by about 80% of a wardrobe. Some people were in sheer outfits. Some people were in outfits that probably weren't technically legal in some countries. The DJ was playing club mixes, lights were flashing, and the dance floor looked like an HR violation. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Okay, I said, we do one lap, grab a drink, and then go sit somewhere far, far away from whatever this is. Again, when you go to the club, yeah, that works. Super good. We hadn't made it halfway to the bar before we got intercepted by the same older couple from earlier and a new couple they'd picked up, like bonus characters. Okay, let me find out the old Don Juan done picked up a protege. They suggested we join them for game night later. The way they said games made my spine lock up. Oh, I'm sure they were wanting to do something with a spine. I pulled out the oldest trick in the book. I grabbed my phone and said, "Oh no, the front desk just texted. There's a problem with our room." I've never committed to a fake emergency with that much dedication in my life. Look, hey, when times are tough, the tough get going, right? So, any means necessary. We backed out of there so fast, it was basically a conga line in reverse. That's how we ended up hiding once again at the swim up bar. So I guess the swim up bar is like Switzerland. It must be just the neutral zone. And that's when Emma met him. Oh boy. Wonder what naked man's sitting at the bar now. He was sitting a few stools down, wearing a t-shirt from the resort next door, the normal resort. He ordered a beer, glanced over at a frazzled group, and said, "You all look like you just saw a ghost." Oh, so this must be one of those chained hotels where they're in with two or three different ones and you could probably go back and forth. Well, that's intriguing. Jess said, "Worse, we accidentally checked into a lifestyle resort." He laughed. And it was this easy, genuine laugh, not the sleazy one we'd been hearing all day. I hear sleazy and I think of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah, the creeps rubbing baby oil, just whispering to each other. Probably somewhere Diddy went, who knows. His name was Jake. Was he with State Farm? He was a couple of years older than us, staying at the neighboring resort with some friends who apparently didn't read the fine print either, but at least their place was just adults only in the normal way. So Emma ended up drifting into conversation with him while the rest of us regrouped. Oh, so a little connection we see. They started talking several travel horror stories, worst dates, terrible Airbnbs. It was like the whole resort faded out around them. Oh, secret lovers. Every time I glanced over, they were deep in some new topic, leaning in, laughing that kind of laugh that makes you forget where you are. Meanwhile, the rest of the trip became a bizarre mix of relaxation and dodging invitations. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge an invite to a lifestyle resort. Jess accidentally wandered into a clothing optional hot tub and came back to our room with the deadest stare I've ever seen. Well, the one bad part about that is can't none of the men say it was cold that day. So that's all on them. You've got to be a shower, not a grower, if you're going to be in those for sure. Tori got offered a couples massage package three separate times, even after saying she didn't have a partner. The staff smiled and said, "That's never a problem here." Oh boy, oh boy. Rubbing the old oils everywhere. Me pretending to be Brooke's extremely clingy girlfriend at least twice to fend off overly friendly couples. For the record, we did win that Oscar, where I can tell you, y'all probably acted better than some of the ones that have won an Oscar. So now, by the last night, Brooke and I were sitting on the balcony watching lights from both resorts. You could see the invisible line. Our place with its extracurriculars and the normal place where the Jake guy was staying. I was so worried this would ruin my whole idea of a bachelorette weekend, she said. But honestly, Nothing about my wedding will ever be as weird as this. I mean, hey, who knows? Two-turn Tony might show up at your wedding, bottoms off. I don't know. Don't tell him where you're getting married. Look on the bright side, I told her. You'll have the most untoppable story at every dinner party for the rest of your life. Better be careful how you use that word top. I'm sure they were looking for top somewhere. Down by the pool, we could see Emma and Jake walking along the path between the two resorts. Oh, they would stop, they would talk and laugh. Then he gave her a soft kiss. Oh, not a vacation fling kiss, but more of a I actually want to see where this goes kind of kiss. Okay, so we getting into the notebook a little bit. Oh my. The next morning at checkout, we were half asleep, sunburned in weird places, and absolutely sworn to secrecy about the true nature of the resort. The front desk lady said, "Did you enjoy your stay?" Brooke and I locked eyes. It was unforgettable, Brooke said. "That's one word for it," I muttered. On the shuttle to the airport, Emma sat in the back, texting nonstop with a dopey smile. Oh, snap. Uh-huh. So a few weeks later, she told us her and Jake were officially dating. Jake from State Farm just gave her the deal of the century. They started visiting each other and traveling together. Oh my. The group chat slowly became equal part memes about our accidental swinger vacation and updates about how things with Jake are going. Fast forward, and that random guy from the normal resort next door turned into the boyfriend who still shows up in our photos, our holidays, and our stories. The Bachelorette trip should have been a disaster, ended up being where Emma met her person. Okay. So let's see. Some of the highlights she put down was we accidentally booked a swinger resort, got propositioned more times than I can count, spent half the time hiding at a swim up bar. Hey, at least there's unlimited drinks. And it says this was also the trip where the bride realized nothing about her marriage would ever be as dramatic as this weekend. And bridesmaids bonded over the weirdest inside jokes. And one of us met someone real in the least real setting possible. And that's how what should have been the worst booking mistake of my life turned into one of my favorite stories to tell. Just maybe not to my parents, but perfect material for here. Wow. Well, that is a pretty doggone interesting story. You know, Thanksgiving, all the turkey, all the stuffing brings a whole new meaning into this for sure. So that brings in my next little retort to this, y'all. Doesn't help doing everything on your own. Look, a lot of times we have no fees. Travel advisors, we look out for you. If you want one of those resorts, that's perfectly fine. A lot of y'all don't, though. Okay. A lot of people like breakfast sausage, but they don't like sausage being in their face for breakfast. Okay. That's just how it is. And I get it. You want to relax. You don't want to try and feel like you're in a Diddy party. You know, you got the doors locked from the outside or the inside. They throwing Bill Cosby's at you just so that way you don't remember. I get it. I understand it. It does not hurt anybody to use a travel advisor. It will help you tremendously. So please, please, for the love of everything, use an advisor. Yeah, this is a great story, but look, this definitely could have ended a lot worse. Okay. And I felt like this was a great start to the pod. Really appreciate you listening and hope you enjoyed it. Look, just remember, nothing's more attractive than a two-turn Tony 65-year-old millionaire walking around in a Speedo and a pot belly, looking like he's one of the pigs from old McDonald's farm with the 2-inch gold chains and the round sunglasses Who doesn't like that? If that's your thing, I could probably hook you up and y'all could exchange info. Who knows? Maybe that's what they want. If you want a throuple, that's fine too, I guess. I don't know. Kind of weird, especially if they're old, but maybe you just get Medicaid and stuff. Maybe Social Security will come a little sooner. If you have any more good stories, bad stories, interesting stories. Look, it doesn't have to if something happened in your travel, please just send it. Okay? All you have to do is send it to the email address, okay? The email address is spill the travel tea at gmail.com. I would love to mention it. I would love for your story to get out. Let me know. Hey, again, if there's ever anything y'all need, feel free to reach out. We do foreign, we do domestic. Oh my. If you want one of those, I could probably get you one of those at a pretty good deal too. Hope everybody's enjoying the break. Until next time, everybody, don't spill the tea too much.